Russians are about to take control over 2 out of 3 main supply routes. Here you can see the orchestra's progress against the western MSR and here against the northern one. The ultimate objective for the Wagnerians is to link up at BAKHMUT in order to cut off BAKHMUT's last MSR.
He has been fighting across Ukraine for months. A covert Russian network with mining companies. In 2014, Russian forces annexed Crimea and began fighting in eastern Ukraine's Donbass region. A year later, soldiers in unmarked green uniforms showed up on the ground to support Russian troops.
Wagnerians have now pushed 6.5 kilometers beyond Klishivka and are in the process of capturing this entire force here. With this position secured and the arrival of heavy Russian reinforcements reported could indicate an imminent assault on Ivanivske using the cover of this forest. January, the orchestra pushed out of the city's landfill and reached the Bakhmutka River, making new gains inside the southern districts of Bakhmut towards Trotsky-Provlok Street.
Fast forward to January 10th, 2023, and it had turned to rubble.
By February 4th, the musicians expanded once again on the southern part of Bakhmut. They used heavier weapons like the ZU-23 anti-aircraft autocannon. They just fired using a thermal. A WAGNER PMC captured the art winery factory and took control of the high-rise buildings south of the Signac plant. The same ones I showed
Hello everybody, new technologies are being used in all areas of human life, and the army is certainly no exception. But we're not just talking about modern military equipment like tanks, drones and so on.
WAGNER soldiers pushed almost 1 kilometer into the residential sector and are now 1,500 meters away from the city center. Here's a Ukrainian squad, 7 on one side of the road, 3 on the other, clearly fighting in a residential sector. You can see them engage the enemy at close range as they're supported by an armored vehicle. But you can sense that
hello everybody, new technologies are being used in all areas of human life, and the army is certainly no exception. But we're not just talking about modern military equipment like tanks, drones and so on.
The Wagnerians also pushed down from Vidhorodne and towards the Bakhmutka River. As you can see, the Ukrainians are slowly getting squeezed out of the east bank of Bakhmut. However, same day, the Russians also established a bridgehead over the Bakhmutka River at Paraskovivka. only 1 kilometer away from this vital intersection. Here's a short video of a Ukrainian unit leaving this intersection on foot. They say, "It's hell on earth. In half an hour, we lost 4 wounded and 2 KIA. We left in small groups. Here are the only ones that are left from our squad." This maneuver essentially turned the defense of Krasnaora into a salient. Added to the fact that the Ukrainians have to cross, meaning this position is very exposed. The Ukrainians there are fighting heroically. For days they were left with barely any supplies, and they still hold. But the question remains for how they're trying to halt and target any incoming Russian reinforcements. As of February 4th, Wagner recon units penetrated so deep that they're trying to reach this Ukrainian G point, this gravity point, from 2 directions. And the defenders are now shaking. This pincer maneuver opens the road for Wagner assault units to strike directly into the district of Stupka, north of BAKHMUT.
Hello everybody. New technologies are being used in all areas of human life, and the army is certainly no exception. But we aren't just talking about modern military equipment like tanks, trains and submarines.
Weeks, the armed forces of Ukraine will probably withdraw from Bakhmut. Meanwhile, Zelensky says that Bakhmut will be defended at all costs, to which Yevgeny Prigozhin replied, "Do not retreat from Bakhmut." Means of the 155th Marine Brigade advance in open terrain in the direction of the attack of the Marines. 2nd Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine held its ground, and after getting reinforcements, they counterattacked, which forced the Russians out of the city. By January 30, the Russians bypassed Volodar and captured a set of heights, opening the way to the mines located. Russian assault units took control of WAGNER, which was certified with this footage, allowed the Russians to establish an important breachhead on the Bakhmutka River. They immediately pushed their advantage south towards Paraskovivka. Here you can see Ukrainian artillery targeting Russian infantry taking cover. In the news, it seems the Russians broke through west of Blahodatne. They even took control of these heights overlooking Paraskovivka and are now only 3 kilometers away from cutting off the highway operational encirclement of Bakhmut by swinging south towards the MO3 highway and capturing the towns of Krasnaora, Paraskovivka, and Yahid-Storm Mykolaivka. And once again, here's footage proving that they indeed control the settlement. The 80th and 95th Air Assault Brigades and the 71st Jaeger Brigade, 3 elite Ukrainian formations, supported by Special Forces and National Guard units, have tried to infiltrate and capture the strategic city of Crimea. 154th Guards Motorized Rifle Division, the 76th Guards Air Assault Division, the 7th Guards Mountain Air Assault Division, and the 90th Tank Division. With roughly 15,000 men per division, that means they massed 60,000 soldiers in this sector against maybe 20,000 Ukrainians. The Russians have as many soldiers in Crimea alone as all of Germany's ground forces. 6 company-sized tactical groups with the support of combat vehicles from 3 sides. They would advance as close to enemy positions aboard these M113 APCs and dismount at the last minute from their small isolated firing positions. However, on some occasions, when the terrain allows it, armored vehicles can actually intervene, like this BMP-2 and T-72 providing suppressive fire for the infantrymen in the foxholes. Here you can see a video from the same paratroopers of the 76th Division, defending their position with the support of a tank, and firing grenades and rockets at the enemy from a distance. Same thing for Russian Ka-52 helicopters and their anti-tank guys. Some VDV paratroopers were engaged by some Ukrainian armored vehicles before being rescued by friendly IFVs. Now here's the perspective of the armored vehicles that came in support. Russians patiently waited for the Ukrainians to tire themselves out and exhaust their resources before launching their own counter-offensive. They launched an attack in the woods southwest of Dibrova against a unit of the territorial defense. But the real attack started on February 2nd, with this push towards Nevsky, Terny, Yampolovka and Torske. At the same time, for the north, the 3rd Motorized Division is advancing against